Good looks can mask ugly truths. In the name of love, a woman commits a hateful act.
Rarely is a woman the participant in that activity.
Hungry for fame, a small-town girl goes out with a bang.
Using the ultimate weapon, sex appeal.
And a bored housewife sides with the devil to save her reputation.
They come up with something mind-blowing in terms of callous brutality.
These deadly women are gentle on the eye, but cold of heart. They are Beauty and the Beastly. People are drawn to the tiny virgin island of St. John for many reasons. For wealthy widow and failed actress, 37-year-old Amanda Perry, it's a new start.
She was very disillusioned. She never got a decent role. And finally, she pretty much gave up on that dream. She went off on vacation to St. John. And she decided that was where she wanted to live.
For 30-year-old musician Grant Hayes, the holiday mecca of St. John is a chance to boost his career.
Grant was a kind of a local star, so to speak, down there. Part of Grant's charm was his guitar.
Hey, mojito?
And he seemed to use that to his advantage, especially when it came to the women in his life.
I mean, what can I say? I'm a fan, you know?
She just fell for that gorgeous smile and that wonderful charisma, and she wanted to get to know him better.
Maybe you could teach me a chord or two.
Sure, we can work something out.
Yeah.
It could be the perfect match with a shared love of performing and dreams of the big time.
Grant was an aspiring blues musician, but it never got past the aspiring stage.
Grant has more charm than money, so a wealthy woman's attention is welcome. After all, he has mouths to feed back home.
Grant was a Lothario. He loved women, and he felt like he could charm just about any woman he met.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
It smells good.
Amanda falls hard for Mr. Charm. Even the fact that he has a family and an ex-wife doesn't faze her.
Hey, how's our boy?
Much better.
Thank God for that.
But in truth, there's nothing ex about Grant's wife. 25-year-old Laura Ackerson. She's raising their 2 young boys in Kingston, North Carolina, waiting for Grant to come home.
It's ready. Who is that?
Oh, that's just an investor helping me with something.
Really?
Yeah, really. Look, I've got to go, all right?
He tells Laura that he met a new investor, but Laura kind of thinks there's something more going on after a while, but she doesn't push it.
My crazy ex.
Oh, really? Well, she's got herself some competition now.
He was pretty charming, and she pretty quickly developed a relationship with him.
Want breakfast?
Yeah, sure.
These lovebirds won't be slowed by old baggage. It's full steam ahead.
Flew out to Las Vegas, where Amanda and Grant got married.
Laura is ambushed.
Hi, Laura. Amanda and I tied the knot. You and I were never really married because I never signed the paperwork.
As hard as that is to understand, she wasn't legally married to Grant, and now Grant was married to Amanda.
It's her. Hey, called to congratulate us.
Put Grant on.
I would, but like, he's really busy.
And it just went downhill and got worse and worse and worse.
Grant files for full custody of their children.
Cut it out!
The psychologist came in and actually laid out what was really going on.
I told you we had a special guest coming. If you're not gonna play nice, no one gets the toy.
Boys, am I right?
I go super fast. How you doing? Too much fast. Whoa, you're super fast.
It was clear from what she wrote that the boys were safer and in a more stable environment when they were with Laura.
It seems Laura will win.
Grant became to realize that he wasn't going to get full custody of the children. That just threw a huge kink in their plans.
I think for Amanda, there was a lot more emotion behind it. Amanda did not want Laura in their life in any way or in Grant's mind.
Damn it!
In 2011, in Raleigh, North Carolina, bad news isn't sitting well with Grant and Amanda Perry.
It's not good.
They'll have to share custody of Grant's children with his ex, Laura.
It appears to me that Grant didn't want Laura in his life. He wanted full custody of the children and to live in New York, where he could pursue his dream.
What are you gonna do?
You know what I have to do.
And together, everything was together from that point forward.
Amanda and Grant make an offer Laura can't refuse.
And when he asked her if she'd like to have a midweek visit, she jumped at the chance because she just loved to see her boys as much as she could.
She's coming in 30 minutes. You gonna be ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna be ready.
Laura had no idea what she was in for.
Oh, hi. This is a pleasant surprise. Where are they?
From the very beginning to the very end, I think they worked as a team to annihilate Laura.
For Amanda, it was more female jealousy. I want you dead. I want you out of my husband's and my life. And that's what happened.
On July 13th, 2011, Laura is lured to her death by motherly love.
Her life revolved around her children. That was the one thing that kind of stood out about her. That's who she was more than anything, was a mom.
Amanda and Grant now have what they want if they can get away with murder.
What happened after this murder is what will just rock your world. I don't even like thinking about what went on in the bathroom of that apartment. Laura's body was cut into pieces and packed away in coolers. How could anyone even think about that, much less do it?
With body parts packed in coolers, the killers embark on a road trip. Destination, a sprawling property in Texas, owned by Amanda's sister.
They asked Amanda's sister if there were alligators out back in the canal area. Why would they do that?
So late one night, they went out in a boat and they dumped those body parts into the water and hoped the alligators finished it all.
The amount of disrespect that was shown to Laura Ackerson is phenomenal. They completely disrespected her humanness, her life.
Their macabre endeavors will only get Grant and Amanda so far. Laura has people who love her, and she's soon reported missing.
We got a search warrant for Amanda's apartment. The thing I remember about going in that first time, this large bleach stain on the floor when you walk in. And you get this odor of bleach when you walk in. So you could tell immediately that somebody's been cleaning something.
There's only one thing detectives think when they walk into a house and all they can smell is bleach. And that is, what happened here and where is the body now?
Witnesses also lead the police to Texas, where the Gators haven't come through for Grant and Amanda.
They never did find all of her body parts, but it was a sad and gruesome discovery.
There was enough evidence available to start a forensic theme park. These two were not good at murder.
In 2013, Grant Hayes is found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison with no parole. In 2014, Amanda Perry Hayes is convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 13 to 16 years in prison.
I wanted a first-degree murder conviction for both of them, so I was, of course, disappointed in the second-degree conviction.
In 2018, an additional charge of tampering with the evidence of a human corpse gives Amanda an additional 20 years behind bars.
In essence, I think is a life sentence for her. So, you know, in the end, it kind of worked out.
I've come across a lot of murders where the victim was dismembered, but rarely is a woman the participant in that activity.
There are evil, evil women, just like there are evil, evil men out there.
She wanted a good time. That's what she did best. What could go wrong?
Like many teenagers, 16-year-old Beulah May Sheriff likes to get what she wants.
Her beauty was her currency. She was beautiful young girl. Everyone told her how beautiful she was and thought that would get her everything she wanted in life.
But in rural Kentucky, at the turn of the 20th century, beauty only gets you so far.
Girl! Girl, you get back here now!
Catch me if you can!
She wanted to move to the big city and marry a rich guy.
And she believes she should be the wife of a wealthy man. She should be a famous cabaret singer or actress.
But after eloping, her first husband falls short.
How can you just ignore him?
Linotype operator Perry Stevens provides a child, but their new life is a long way from city glamour.
No. No, thank you. I just got changed.
She didn't like being a mother at all.
I'm going out.
She would leave her husband with the baby, and she would go out and party, drink, dance.
Unbelievable.
Oh, you better believe it.
Her husband very wisely advised her, you're never going to be a good mother, so why don't you just leave now?
You're no mother. Don't bother coming back.
Fine by me.
There are skid marks left from her getting out of there so fast.
The bright lights are calling, and as the jazz era takes hold, there's only one place to be: Chicago.
How are you?
So where's your man?
Oh, he's so boring.
Miller, you're a bad girl.
Big city. Lots of booze, lots of dancing, lots of nightlife. This is what attracts her.
Oh, now he looks like fun.
Beulah is in her element. She just needs to land a provider.
Good evening, ladies.
She didn't want to have to get a job. And so what do? You find a man.
Beulah set her sights on a man and could land that man just with a look.
She works her magic on successful mechanic Al Annan.
Good guy, working class guy. He thought he was the luckiest guy in the world.
Al works hard to give his wife the good life, but soon that won't be enough.
Honey? Are you home?
How do I look?
Amazing.
Al was a good provider, but that isn't what Beulah wanted. She wanted a good time.
What's for dinner?
I was thinking we could go out.
Nah, I'm dog-tired.
Well, I'm bored.
She can't sit still. She's got to go out. She's got to find a good time.
Ah, this is my favorite!
It's not long before Beulah finds a new playmate, laundromat manager, 29-year-old Harry Kalstedt.
And the two of them together, when they start drinking and partying, they feed off of each other, really.
Look like you need it.
Now the good time girl has what she wants: a doting husband bringing in the money, and a secret lover to help her spend it.
While Al is at work, busting his hump, a mechanic,
Hi.
Beulah and Harry are at the house. Drinking moonshine, having sex. That need for excitement is fulfilled in the secrecy involved in the affair. That gives her sort of a high.
Beulah is living the dream, at least her dream. At just 25, the world revolves around her. What more could she want?
This party that they have, is gonna end in a bloodbath.
Chicago, in the roaring 20s, tests America's moral core as young beauties like Beulah Annan enjoy smashing traditional roles.
Beulah had kind of a bad habit. Every time she met a guy, he was in her bed in no time.
Not content with a doting husband, she's taken a lover, Harry Kalstedt. But now it's his turn to feel Beulah's wrath.
Beulah was disenchanted with Harry. All he wanted to do was sit around her apartment, drink wine, and have sex.
You've had enough.
Oh, I paid for it.
Well, what's a few dollars between friends?
Beulah needs more than personal attention. She wants financial attention, too.
She begins to question Harry. You know what? You earn money. You spend none of it on me.
There's another man.
She wants to hurt him. The best way she can think of to do that, she tells him that she has another man, a man who treats her better than he does.
What man?
Oh, he's a real Southern gentleman. Knows how to treat a woman.
Well, how many men do you need?
How dare you?
Harry could see things were going and didn't want anything to do with it.
Okay. Party's over.
He said it was over. He turned his back to her and started to walk out the door.
Her threat backfires. But in her world, no one gets to leave but Beulah.
She shot him in the back.
It's a fatal wound, but it takes time.
Beulah may have lost her dance partner, but that doesn't mean she was going to stop dancing.
She's dancing to his death. That's what she's doing. It takes him 3 hours to die. Harry's light just slowly fades over that afternoon as Beulah listens to a jazz record and enjoys his death.
Finally, when it was clear that he had died, she realized she needed a story.
Al, I've been attacked. He tried to have his way with me.
Please help me, Al. Come now.
Beulah!
I'm so terrified.
It's okay.
Beulah convinces her husband, but the police are harder to persuade.
He kept coming towards me, and so I shot him.
She told them she shot him when he was rushing at her.
In the back.
Well, it was self-defense.
It was pointed out to her the bullet hole was in the back of Harry, but that didn't stop her from singing that song.
When Beulah is charged with murder, she becomes an instant sensation.
Beulah was on the front page of every newspaper for a few weeks after her arrest. She was a celebrity.
What do you think of all the public support?
Everyone's been so kind. I mean...
Murder gets her the attention she's always wanted.
Beulah was not an intellectual genius, but she did know how to play up what she had and how to get the press to follow her like a puppy.
I'm just so fortunate to have my husband's full love and support.
With her faithful husband standing by her, Beulah's looking more like a wronged woman than a killer.
But what if you're found guilty?
Oh, but I can't be.
Then she plays her trump card.
I'm with child.
And so she decided that she was pregnant. And this had exactly the impact that she was hoping. The newspapers went into overdrive.
Really?
Oh my goodness.
We're going to be such wonderful parents.
A baby? We can't have a baby being born in prison. This is not acceptable.
In those days, juries were made up of all men, so the chances that all 12 of them were going to find her guilty were slim.
Beulah Annan always gets what she wants. And in 1924, she's acquitted of all charges and set free.
Beulah was so happy the all-male jury acquitted her in less than 2 hours. She shook hands with most of them and kissed one of them right on the lips. While Beulah was kissing the jurors, Lady Justice was crying.
There was not justice for Harry Kalstead. That's certainly true.
And the faithful husband who stood by her through thick and thin.
No one would know you're having a baby. Why?
The day after that, she announced she was going to divorce Al.
Beulah couldn't move fast enough to get away from Al. And the baby never happened.
Beulah plays her husband, the press, and the law like a maestro. Next stop, Hollywood. But as it goes in popular culture, Beulah's 15 minutes is up.
She expected it to just come to her, and it didn't. The press moved on. She was left with nothing.
Beulah's run of luck comes to an end, and it's left for nature to do what justice couldn't.
She contracted tuberculosis. She only lived 4 to 5 more years.
On March 14th, 1929, Beulah dies alone, age 32.
Beulah cared about Beulah. There's no evidence to suggest that she ever truly cared about anyone else.
Even in death, Beulah gets what she wants: a career in show business.
If this story sounds familiar, it's because Beulah was immortalized forever as the glamorous Roxy Hart of the musical Chicago. If there is an afterlife, Beulah's smiling.
Thought you'd never get home.
From the outside looking in, both couples seemed happy, but everyone was wrong. This case is of biblical proportions.
Coleraine, Northern Ireland, 1990. Between the sermons and the Psalms, 31-year-old Colin Howell falls for a fellow parishioner.
Colin Howell was a very successful dentist, outwardly respectable, pillar of the community.
28-year-old Hazel Buchanan can't believe her luck. There's only one complication. They're already committed.
She loved her husband, and she was a dutiful wife. Suddenly, along comes this guy called Colin Howell, and everything changed.
Colin's wife, 31-year-old Leslie, and Hazel's 32-year-old husband, Trevor, suspect nothing. Hazel soon finds innocent ways to meet up with the handsome dentist.
All right, I should be off.
Okay, bye.
All right.
You never know what attracts one person to another. But in this case, there was a very powerful spark.
The arrangement suits Colin perfectly.
Not so much.
I was pressure left-handed, but it's...
Colin Howell led a double life. He was a lay preacher in his Baptist church where Hazel went to. He was outwardly respectable, family man, but he was sexually voracious. He was a walking contradiction, and as they say in Ulster, they say, the bigger the Bible, the bigger the hypocrite.
They keep their affair secret for a year. Then their luck runs out.
They were seen by another church member in the park.
What's going on here?
And were confronted.
Please, let me explain. Explain it to the pastor.
He said, "This can't go. This can't persist. You have to report this not only to the church elders, but to your spouses."
And everyone assumed the affair would stop.
But their sexual chemistry doesn't evaporate. It gets more intense and kinky.
Hazel and Colin were catnip for each other. They couldn't stay away.
Laughing gas is nitrous oxide. It's a odorless gas that has very rapid onset. It causes mild sedation and relaxation.
He knocked Hazel out with gas, and he had sex while she was unconscious. That's the kind of character he was, you know.
Thought you'd never get home.
The root canal took forever.
Notice anything different?
No, what?
My hair, the dress.
Oh, yeah, you look nice.
It's becoming clear the two are at a crossroads. The only question is, who will do what next?
Divorce in the Baptist church, dirty word. It's a word that it's not part of their vocabulary.
Trevor and I'd be better off if we died in a car crash.
Colin got the idea quite accidentally from his own wife, Leslie.
They come up with something mind-blowing in terms of callous brutality.
Divorce, in the eyes of God, is a perpetual sin that will exist until the day they die, and they'll never get into the kingdom of heaven. But murder, that was okay.
What if we get caught?
Trapped in their own passionless marriages,
We won't.
lovers Hazel Buchanan and Colin Howell search for a way out.
And he said to her, you know, I have an idea. Why don't we kill Trevor and Leslie, and we can be together?
On May 18th, 1991, they're ready.
Colin decided he had to kill his wife first. So he plied her with a little alcohol,
The plan is to gas Leslie so she stays asleep forever.
He connects the hose pipe to the exhaust, turns the ignition, and he waits.
And as the exhaust began to fill the area, she began to arouse because the smell from the combustion of the gasoline was irritating. And as she aroused, her husband rushes back into the room and pulls the quilt over her head and holds her down.
Till eventually, she goes limp, and there's nothing there.
A few streets away,
Help you sleep.
Hazel helps husband Trevor prepare for bed.
Thank you.
All right.
She gave him temazepam. She made sure that he had a good dose of this sleeping pill in his system.
Because now it's Trevor's turn. Colin is ready for murder, round 2.
He does the exact same thing. He runs the hose through the house, switches the ignition on, and waits for the fumes to start emit from the other end of the hose.
Just like Leslie, the fumes arouse Trevor.
He jumps on top of him, and he sticks the hose into Trevor's mouth. And she can hear all of this. She can hear her husband fighting for his life, but she says nothing. She says absolutely nothing.
In one night, 2 loving parents are taken away in the prime of their lives.
2 people who had the hots for each other not only felt okay with murder, but they took the parents away of 6 young children. What a horrible legacy.
The killers stage a double suicide.
He drags Trevor's body out of the boot and leaves him in the driver's seat.
In an abandoned garage belonging to Leslie's late father, Colin sets the scene.
He took his wife's body, and he just left her in the trunk. And then he set all the family photographs around her. And then he put the earbuds in her ear and turned on her music maker.
A hose pipe finishes the illusion. The perfect murder is never easy, but Colin and Hazel pull it off.
When the couple were found in the car, the Royal Ulster Constabulary's line very firmly from early on was this was a tragedy. It was a suicide, double suicide.
As a result, 2 people that killed 2 other people got away with it.
It was the perfect murder.
The case is closed, and the lovers have their new life ahead of them. But the price they've paid will gradually make its claim.
What do you think's gonna happen to a relationship where you're sleeping next to someone that you know is capable of murdering their partner? You're next?
It lasted for, what, 5 years? Never worked out.
Now the pair are bonded, not by love, but by a deadly secret. They move on to new marriages. Hazel becomes Mrs. Stewart, but they all remain in the church. Still, it doesn't erase the guilt, at least for Colin. 18 years after the murders, his conscience wins.
Cut my wife first.
One day, he walked into a police station and told the whole story.
And the whole plot came to the fore, that this was murder, fiendishly plotted murder.
Hazel didn't go down so easily. She didn't want to come clean.
But it doesn't matter.
The evidence all pointed in one direction, complicity.
In 2009, Colin Howell and Hazel Stewart are both convicted of double murder. They are sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 21 and 18 years. Hazel continues to deny her guilt.
Colin Howell, in a way, in a perverse way, has more credibility, because at least he admitted what he did.
The only thing Hazel Stewart regrets is that she was caught.
Hazel and Colin had pulled off the perfect murder, but in the end, that didn't set them free. Instead, it locked them in a cage of guilt, for which there was only one key: atonement.
This case is of biblical proportions.
These deadly women's innocent looks hid their dark natures. Amanda Hayes' jealousy destroyed a loving mother. Beulah Annan's charm leaves a legacy of murder. And Hazel Stewart's lust ripped two families apart. All three women had men in the palm of their hands. With love, hate, and murder, they were Beauty and the Beastly.